boys, it's your boy John Mike. I'm back again with another MIDI controller review, and today we're going to be talking about the Nektar Impact series of keyboards. I have the LX49. The only difference between this and the 61 key version is just the keys. They have the same functionality, the same amount of buttons, pads, same width, you know, like that way, and same girth of thickness. But so they're pretty much the same keyboard. You may have seen the video that I did on the 61, the first generation. I'll throw that up in the card and also down in the description so you can check that out. It was a really great keyboard, really cool, and I gave my thoughts on it, so you can check those links and check those videos out. But this is the second generation, so I wanted to put my hands on this because this one is the one that's actually out on the market now that you can buy, that you can check out. It runs in the 49 runs in the $150, $160, $159 range, whereas the 61 is going to cost you $179, and that's going to give you an extra set of keys for $20 more. So that's pretty much the only difference between the two. So I just opted for the 49 so I can just kind of get a feel of what it kind of goes. So we're going to dig into it. We're going to see what software comes with it. We're going to plug it up. We're going to see what it can do. Let's jump into it. So it comes with some software here. The only software that it says that it comes with is Bitwig 8-track. Now, I've actually never used Bitwig. I've heard some good things about it. That it's kind of like Ableton Live. It has some of those features. We're going to see what that looks like. But it has DAW integration, DAW integration built into it. So they're saying that they have schemes and things that you can use for each DAW kind of works. So let's pull it out and let's kind of see what we come up with here. Now these keys feel, and you can hear it, they feel a bit clacky, a bit noisy. Now with the previous version, that was one of my biggest things. It felt okay when it came to doing key stuff, but this, I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I actually think I like the feel of the previous generation versus this generation of Nektar of this. So it's the keys. They're not full size. I don't think these are full size keys. They don't look like full size, nor do they feel like full size. As a piano player, full size keys kind of matter to me and the feel of it when I'm actually playing it, whether I'm composing. But that noisiness, that's kind of a big deal for me. I don't know how I feel about that just yet. We'll see how it feels when I'm actually playing something. Now, the actual knobs and faders here, they feel pretty good, pretty much like the previous generation did. That same kind of resistance, really good resistance. These knobs right here, you got 8 knobs, and you have 8 pads as well. And from what I understand, the difference between these pads and the ones on the previous generation is that they actually light up different colors or what have you. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty standard as far as a MIDI controller in this price range. It has a sustain pedal, and then it has a standard USB, B, plug, and then your switch. There's no standard MIDI on it or whatever like that. I think the only version that actually has the standard MIDI ports on it is the 88 key version. So if you get the 88 key version, you actually get the added benefit of a standard MIDI jack. But on these versions, the 61 and the 49, you're not going to get any kind of standard MIDI. All right, so playing this thing, of course, I kind of commented on that first when I first pulled it out the box. This is by far not the best feeling keyboard or key bed on any MIDI controller I felt. It's probably, if I had to rate it, I'd give it a 2 out of 10 in terms of how it feels, because it's kind of springy, A lot of bounce back. The keys are really stiff. But now I want you to take that with a grain of salt, because this is coming from a player, like a piano player. Like, I play full chords, you know what I mean? And I can play jazz progressions and things like that. So I'm a pianist, you know. So feel is a whole different ballpark for me. I love the feel of the keyboard. That's what draws me to it. This doesn't have the feel that I like. Now, if you're a beat maker, somebody who's just kind of just fiddle-pilling around and likes to just play, that's okay, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just a player. That's just my perspective. If you're like a guy that just needs something for the input, I just want to be able to, you know, create tracks. I don't really care about how this thing feels. I just need something that I can create tracks and just have the functionality. Now, what it lacks in functionality, it more than makes up in the 80% area over here. What you, in my opinion, from my perspective, what you buy this keyboard for is for the 80% you see right here, and not the 20% that's going on down here. The 80 outweighs the 20. So if I had to give this a score in terms of functionality, with all the control, I'd give it a score of definitely like an 8 out of 9. 8 out of 10. Not an 8 out of 9. I was going to say an 8 or a 9 out of 10 is what I meant. So score of an 8 or 9 out of 10 on the functionality, because this thing gives you a ton of control. You got your mixer section, you got beat pads over here, but they also function as launchers for launching clips. If you're in Ableton or Bitwig, arming sounds or, layers, if you're in main stage or something like that. So it's got a lot of functionality and control, like I went over in the front part of the video. So one of the things that's really dope is that it auto mapped to Bitwig. Once I got it loaded in here in Bitwig, it automatically mapped. I didn't have to do anything. Everything is already set up. If I press the mixer button here, which I love this little indicator light that lets me know what section I'm in. So if I hit mixer, it changes on the screen, and I can actually control the volumes here inside of Bitwig on my tracks that I have loaded up. I can also, mute and solo and do those things like that, which that's really, really cool that I can do that. I can hit instrument section and go into my instrument section. I can hit presets, and I can search through preset sections and stuff. I can go through patches. I can hit patches. I can change tracks, which inadvertently kind of changes the sound in this particular template just opened up. That's pretty cool. Transport controls, recording, fast forward, stop, they all work. The loop button, that's really, really cool. My opinion on the matter, my overall kind of take on this keyboard is that you buy this for the control. And not for the playability. The playability score, again, is low. I give it a 2. I mean, it gives you the basic, what you need, but it just feels, the feel is just not there. But control-wise, I give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10 because it's just there when it comes to control. But it is not the best feeling, especially for the price point. I mean, you're spending, with tax, it's shipping, depending on if you're ordering this from somewhere, you're spending around the $200 range. It starts at $150 for the 49, $179 for the, that's when you add tax to that, shipping, you're probably knocking on the $200 range, close to it, with tax and shipping and all of that good stuff like that. Unless you just walk into Guitar Center and buy it, then you exclude the shipping. So that's kind of my take on it. Just right out the box. I'm going to do some other comparisons against some other keyboards that I have that live in this price range to kind of give you the opinion of how it feels. But it has a ton of advanced features that I won't dig into in this video just for sake of brevity. But it's a great buy for the control, not for the playing. That's my take on it. Hope you guys like this video, hope to help you. I'm going to do another separate video where I dig into maybe Bitwig Studio and how that works and how, you can kind of do that. I've never used, reason I'm not doing it in this video because I've actually never used Bitwig. before, never used it. This is my first time messing with it. So I'm not going to dig into it into this video, but I'm going to sit down and play with Bitwig and see what I can kind of come up with, and I'll bring you guys back into that process. All right, you know how we do. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, all those buttons that do stuff on the video, all those things like that. We want you guys a part of the family. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll talk to you on the next video. I'm out. Holla at your boy.